Welcome back to Zydoxa. Please help me out and hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Today, I must give an extreme warning with this video. The details are very disturbing. In fact, the details of this have stayed with me ever since I saw them. So please click off if you are easily affected by details of murder. In early 2025, a crime unfolded quietly in northern Vietnam, hidden from the public, unnoticed by authorities, and buried behind encrypted accounts. Months later, in late July 2025, it would erupt across the internet under a chilling name, the Vietnamese butcher. This is the story of a murder that went unseen, a video that shocked the world, and an online investigation unlike anything before. Nguyen Duyen Dat was born in 1989 as 35-year-old man from Vietnam, HuyIen province. He lived a quiet, transient life, often moving between jobs and locations. By 2024, he had relocated to Lang Son province, where he lived alone and spent much of his social life online. Investigators later discovered that Dat used several anonymous accounts on dating platforms and private messaging apps. He often met people discreetly, keeping his personal life compartmentalized. Duan Van Sang was born in 1968 and was 57 years old at the time of the crime. He worked as a market management officer in Lang Son province, Vietnam, a respected government position. Colleagues described him as quiet, disciplined and professional, but online he maintained anonymous identities and had been active on extreme digital communities for years. In fact, it's reported that Dat and Sang connected on social media around 2020 and engaged in sexually morbid or perverse topics involving beheading. By mid-January 2025, Dat and Sang started to organise meeting up in a discreet location to, in essence, create their own snuff film, with the material being edited and distributed for sale. On 24th of January 2025, Sang contacted Dat with the location of former office of the Market Surveillance Unit No. 4, and Dat travelled there. When Dat entered that building, he knew he would never leave. Footage circulating on the dark web shows Dat and Sang performing a rehearsal of what was to come. This rehearsal showed Dat with his head on a block and masked Sang running the blunt side of a cleaver across Dat's neck. The men then hugged and the footage ended. On the 25th of January 2025, the main event occurred. Footage shows Dat lying naked on the floor with his head on a cutting board. Dat masturbated, and at the point of climax, masked Sang entered the frame and decapitated Dat with a cleaver. This was not a quick decapitation. Sang ran the cleaver over Dat's neck, slowly severing his head from his body. After this, Sang dismembered Dat's body and proceeded to cook Dat's internal organs with a selection of vegetables. From January to July 2025, no missing person report was filed, no public investigation began, and the crime remained invisible. Everything changed late July, when a video labelled "The Vietnamese Butcher" began circulating on Telegram and shop sites. According to reports, the footage had been sold on the dark web as early as February 2025. Between July and August, more than 20,000 online sleuths collaborated to identify the masked man. They analysed tiles and furniture in the footage. By early August, online investigators had identified the location and linked the suspect to a government office. It is only after online exposure and pressure did the authorities open a formal investigation, and it was November 2025 when Sang was finally arrested. This case is more than a crime, and it is probably the first authentic snuff film where there's a willing victim and the footage was made solely to be sold. This case also forces us to confront online safety, privacy, and acknowledge the dark corners of the internet where real harm can hide. If you want more deep dive investigations into internet mysteries, then please subscribe and comment below. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Bye for now.